Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be building the best team possible for less than a million MT here in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 12,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting out the point guard position, I'm going with Dark Matter Luka Doncic. I think Luka is worth the 200,000 MT price point, which is pretty cheap, I feel like, for how good of a PG he is. I still think he's a top 3 point guard in the game. I think he's maybe the best 3 hunting PG in the game at 6'7" with a 6'8" wingspan. He's got decent size, hotspots from everywhere. 30 hops include incredible shooting and playmaking badges, but also some decent defense and finishing badges as well, like Bully, Limitless Takeoff, Posterizer, Anchor, Clamps, and Glove. His defensive stats are super solid. He's got great speed. He's an elite level shooter and a very solid slasher. Does have quick drops, best dunk animation in the game. Trey size up, Trey escape, lid behind the back, give him incredible 6, and the KPJ based Rudy upper on very quick is the best release in the game that any point guard has. Not only that, Trey fade, best fade in the game as well. Ton to like about Luka. He's the best shot creating point guard in the game, and I think he fits perfectly on this team because the two, we're adding some size and defense with Andre Kirilenko, a 6'9" shooting guard who is an absolutely incredible lockdown defender, 7-foot wingspan, hot spots from everywhere. 35 hops include the key 4 finishing badges, Agent 3 catch and shoot, limitless range, slippery off ball, elite playmaking badges, and every single defensive badge in the game on Hall of Fame except for Workhorse. 98 across the board on the defensive stats. He's a great rebounder, really good speed, elite shooter, and an elite slasher, and also another great shot creator. Has a top tier release, Trey fade, again, really good sigs, lid behind the back, front clutch dunk animations. He's an elite secondary ball handler with a great release and an absolutely incredible lockdown defender. An amazing option at the 2 for only 90,000 MT. At the 3, going with Jonathan Isaac, another incredible 3-and-D card. I think he's one of the best couple 3-and-D cards in the game, period. He gives you the size at 6'11" with a 7'2" wingspan to compete against the guys like, I don't know if you haven't played against Nikola Jokic at point guard, or you're playing against Chet Holmgren, Bull, cards like that. He can guard those guys at a very high level. 35 hops, you got hot zones across the board. 35 Hall of Fame badges include basically every single most important key Hall of Fame badge in the game, which I think is a big deal. I mean, he's a really good defender. Obviously, we know how good of a defender he's going to be at 6'11" with these type of defensive stats, as well as I think really good defensive tendencies as well. Yeah, 97 on-ball steal, contestant block shot tendency. That matters, and that's really useful for him. So 2 lockdown defenders with AK and Jonathan Isaac, and then honestly, John Isaac as well. Really good shooter. He can create his own shot at a high level with really good half-court sigs. Great tertiary ball handler with a nice release. I think he's a top tier 3 shooting small forward in the game, like top 3 or 4 at the position still. For 55,000 MT, you just can't understate the value of that type of card. Taco Fall comes in at the 4, 7'6" power forward who can still compete against literally any power forward in the game, whether it's Manute Bull. The shorter, smaller, faster power forwards might give him a little bit of trouble at times, but if you're a good stick on-ball defender, you can cut off the dribble drive pretty effectively, and he plays much faster than 64 speed because of how big he is. Also a very nice shooter because he's got a good release, and he can get the key shooting badges like limitless range and catch and shoot, as well as a badge like fast twitch, maybe a quick first step as well, and a challenger or something like that, or another shooting badge. But the Mitchell Robinson base is really good. His movement is not good, but it doesn't matter. He's such an incredible screen setter, roller, interior defender, interior scorer, offensively, offensive rebounder, all those things he's going to do at a ridiculously high level. One of the most overpowered cards in the game still, and he's dropped in price so much, only 125k. Ralph Sampson is coming in at the 5. First time that I've included Ralph in one of these team builders this year, but this card is really good. 7'4" with a 7'8" wingspan. No 3-point hotspots, but 35 hops include amazing finishing and defensive hops. Good shooting and playmaking ones as well. 85 speed and excel, 82 shot 3, 98 standing and 90 driving dunk. Really great interior defender, so he can shoot the ball really well. He's got great size, and he's an elite level defender and interior player. Release is not great, but that's okay. When you add the shooting badges to him, it's not a horrible release, and at 7'4", it's not the most important thing to have an elite release. He actually moves decently well, and he's got quick drops as well. So a lot to like about Ralph Sampson, especially for the price. 90,000 MT for a 7'4" center who can compete at a super high level against your Manutes, your Yaos, your Rick Smiths, etc. And having a Taco Ralph frontcourt, 7'6" and 7'4", that's a competitive level frontcourt for a combined just over 200,000 MT. So starting lineup's a little expensive, about 545,000 MT, so a little bit, or maybe a little more than that even. But the bench is a bit cheaper and fits this team really well as well. Ron Artest, who's been in a couple of these squads, continues to find a spot on the team. He's gone up a little bit in price, up to 80,000 MT, but still very affordable for a guy who's an elite level shot creator and a great all-around offensive card, but also an incredible top-tier defensive PG. He's 6'7". He's a really great shooter and a great shot creator, and then a very good slasher as well. Does not have the best dunk animations, no quick drops off one or front front clutches, but that's okay. Does have the tray fade as well. So an elite level offensive card, not quite as good of a shot creator as Luka, but still great offensively, and an incredible defensive option, especially at 6'7" at the point guard position. Really, really good card. Is an amazing backup PG. And then backup shooting guard is interdimensional Tim Thomas. This duo right here is damn near as good as Luka and AK in the starting lineup. The depth of this lineup is phenomenal. Tim Thomas at 6'10" at the shooting guard position with a 7'2" wingspan gives you that incredible size, the hot spots from everywhere, the amazing all-around badges. Do wish he had Hoff anchor and Hoff clamps, maybe Hoff interceptor as well defensively, but I can live with that on a 6'10" shooting guard, especially one who's as incredible offensively as he is. 95 speed and excel, 97 shot three, 95 driving dunk. Great all-around defender. Really, really good card with an amazing release, tray fade, top-tier sigs in the half court with Francis size up and tray escape, and front clutch dunk animations. Still an amazing top-tier option at the shooting guard position, who deserves a lot more credit, I think, considering everybody has that. Well, not everybody has, but a lot of people want that hero Tim Thomas, and a lot of people have the hero Tim Thomas. The regular interdimensional Tim Thomas is much cheaper and still an amazing option at this position. I think he's definitely a card who more people should look into adding to their squads if you're a little bit more of a budget player, because I think he can really hold it down at a super high level at the shooting guard position for what? Just over 15,000 or just over 150K or about 150K. That's a great price point in my opinion. Now, backup three, super budget. We're going with the cheapest players on one of the cheapest players on this team is going to be Josh Smith at only 7,000 MT. But for a 6'9" small forward who is an incredible all-around card with crazy good speed, great shooter, incredible slasher, and still an elite defender, has super complete badges. He does have Hoff catch and shoot, corner specialist, limitless range, and everything else is pretty much as complete as it possibly could be. Couple that with a much improved release and really good sigs as well as quick drops and elite defensive ability. The tray fade, 7K. This is the best value small forward in the game by a decent margin, and I think he very easily fits this team really, really nicely. Backup power forward, going with the cheapest player on this team because he's free. Jack Sigma. Takes about 30 minutes to grind for this Sigma card, and he is a top tier power forward in the game with an amazing release, decent speed, very good interior defender. He's an incredible defender and an amazing shooter, one of the best pick and pop cards in the game, but also a very good athlete who does have quick drops, has the great slashing badges, one of the fastest releases in the game, and decent all-around sigs with the Lillard behind the back. Lot to like, again, out of this type of card. I think sometimes he gets a little bit overlooked, to be completely honest, even because I don't know if Sigma gets the credit that he deserves for how good of a card he is because he's only 6'11", but I think with that type of size, it's good enough where you can still use him at an elite level at the power forward position. And then Yao Ming is going to be our backup center. He has gone up in price. He was pretty cheap yesterday. He's gone up a bit now to around 200,000 MT, but we do have barely the budget for that. 7'6" with a 7'9" wingspan, 80 speed and excel, 78 shot three. I understand he doesn't get a ton of key badges, like he's missing limitless takeoff, limitless range, agent 3, clamp breaker, challenger clamps. Like there are badges that he's missing that for sure that are pretty important badges, but I don't think it matters that much because he's still so big and can shoot the ball super well and still does a ton well offensively and defensively. I just think that he's one of the best centers in the game still, even though he is missing so many important badges, or so many important badges, yeah, because he's still so complete and so good as an all-around card, and I think he sometimes get overlooked at this point because we have a Dark Matter Yao, we have Rick Smith, we have guys like that. He should be in a lot of lineups still if you can't afford those top guys, because he's a top 4 or so center in my team still for about 200,000 MT. It's an incredible team. So this is the end game, or the total squad that we're going to go with. You could always start Yao over Ralph Sampson if you want. I go with Ralph starting and Yao off the bench just to even out the size in your front court just a little bit more. But this team is amazing, and getting it for just under a million MT. I mean, this adds up to 997,000. It's right under that million MT mark, but it is one of the best squads that I think I've built all year. Literally, in my opinion, a competitive level squad, because you have the elite shot creation with Luka, Artest, Tim Thomas, AK. You have incredible lockdown defenders in the lineup with guys like AK, Jonathan Isaac, Ron Artest, Josh Smith. Size with Taco, Ralph, and Yao, one of the best pick and pop bigs in the game with Jack Sigma. This is a true comp level lineup for less than a million MT. It's the type of team that you love to see. So that is going to do it for this video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.